In my previous video I covered a brief history about the Didcot, Newbury and Southampton Railway line. In this video I'll look a little closer at the section line between Shawford Junction and Worthy Down. I will cover the route, Hockley Viaduct, Winchester Chesil Station, the tunnel and Worthy Down. If you want to watch more about this line and its disused stations, I can highly recommend Paul and Rebecca Whitewick's excellent series Abandoned Railways. See the link in the description below or up here if I can get it to work.
Leaving the LSWR main line at Shawford Junction, a train would join the DNSR as it curved off to the right and then across the 33 spans of the Hockley Viaduct, passing St Catherine's Hill and travelling nearly 2 miles before arriving at Winchester Chesil, then departing through the 441-yard tunnel, curving round the edges of Winchester, passing Winnell Gasworks and arriving at the second station on the line, Kingsworthy. The line continued to curve back towards and under the LSWR main line next to Winchester Junction. At this junction there were 2 spurs, one on the left that joined the DNSR for northbound trains only, built to speed up D-Day train movements, and the other one to the right, which was the line towards Alton. The DNSR continued towards Worthy Down Holt.
Built in the mid-1880s, the viaduct was the brainchild of London South Western Railway's engineer, L.W. Galbraith. He contracted Joseph T. Furbank to do the actual construction work. At just over 2,000 foot long, it has 33 brick arches, one of them which is wider as it spans the River Itchen. Although brick on the outside, it actually has a concrete core, making it one of the earliest structures to be built in this fashion. It opened in 1891 as part of the line extension from Winchester Chesil to Shawford Junction, meaning that the DNSR finally achieved their original goal of reaching Southampton. The viaduct deteriorated after the closure of the line in the 1960s, and in the 1980s the Army offered to blow up the structure as part of an exercise, but opposition saw that plan halted. In 2007, the Friends of Hockley Viaduct was created, and they campaigned heavily for the conservation and restoration of this unique structure. By 2012, some restoration funding was finally granted after their concerns were noticed and championed by the leader of the local council, George Beckett. Sustrans, a sustainable transport charity, stepped in, recognising the potential the viaduct had to offer. With the combined expertise of Sustrans, Winchester City Council and Hampshire County Council, extensive work was carried out on the viaduct, repairing the parapets and repointing the brickwork. The newly restored Hockley Viaduct was officially opened and made part of the National Cycle Network Route 23 in 2013. The Friends provided a replacement home signal and lattice post. It's an original London South Western signal arm that was recovered from Queens Junction. The line was of great importance during the 2 World Wars. The base of the original LSWR signal has been dedicated to all the troops that crossed the viaduct between 1914 and 1918. And the replacement signal has been dedicated to the railwaymen who supervised the passage of the 16,000 trains that ran in the build-up to D-Day. The unintended terminus of the DNSR was here, at Winchester. It opened on the 4th of May 1885 and became a through station when the LSWR connected the line in October 1891. The station building was on the upside towards Newbury, and a footbridge connected the 2 platforms. This behind me was the station. Beyond the station was a sizable goods yard with a basic engine shed and a turntable for turning locos for their journey back. Installed in 1923 at the end of the platform, the signal box was notable for an experimental form of route setting using a miniature lever frame. This lasted 10 years before it was replaced by an orthodox lever frame. Not long after nationalisation, and to help the travelling public distinguish between the 2 Winchester stations, The station was renamed Winchester Chesil on the 26th of September 1949. The station on the direct line to London was also renamed, but as Winchester City. There are different explanations for the name Chesil. One is that it's a variation of Cheese Hill, the original name given to St Giles's Hill, where cheese markets were once held. Another is that it comes from Cheese Hill Street, that runs parallel with the station, and is the location for the church of St Peter Chesil and Rectory. Confusingly, that has now been changed to Chesil Street. But the most likely is that it takes its name from the site of a chesil or gravel bank on which boats laden with goods were grounded for offloading. Either way, Winchester Chesil is now the site of a multi-storey car park. The line from the north arrived at Chesil Street through the only tunnel on the whole line. It's 441 yards long, and like the rest of the line, it was built for double track, but for the majority of its life, only a single line was ever laid. The tunnel is currently used by the local council to store street furniture, wheelie bins and other various objects. It's bricked up at the other end as it is used as a range for the local small bore shooting club. Winchester Tourism do occasionally allow the public inside as part of a tour. Worthy Down was a single platform halt built in 1918 to serve the Royal Flying Corps, who'd established a camp here. In 1942, and as part of the D-Day preparations, the station was rebuilt with a lengthy passing loops and a new island platform. The station shut in the 1960s and the Army took over the Flying Corps site, and it is nowadays known as the Worthy Down Barracks. Thanks to the Worthy conservation volunteers, the site is easy to see, explore and enjoy as part of the public footpath. Thanks a lot. Goodbye. Ciao. Bugger off. The viaduct deteriorated after the closure of the line in the 1980s. 60s. Fucking 60s, man. 60s, man. 60s, man. Off you, noisy. Restored Hockley Viaduct was finally opened, or officially opened, and made part of the National Cycle. Fuck up as usual. No, that's wrong, you dick. But these big ideas died off due to opposition from existing. Look, that is a cute dog. Cute dog. More cyclists, many cyclists. Suspicious red trousers. Never mind, he'll recover. A like would be appreciated, and you could also hit the subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. The station was helicopter. Go away. Go away. Enough of that. That's silly.